Joe Franco, and thank you for watching this video. What we're going to go over today are the quarter turns. Basically, these are the poses that you're going to be in the most. These are the ones that you want to master, especially as a beginner, because that front relaxed pose, you're going to be holding that quite often in your shows. Now, this instructional video can be applied to women bodybuilding and, of course, men bodybuilders. And it's going to be a prelude to what's going to be coming. I'm going to do the mandatory poses also in the near future, and that's going to be for sale hopefully within the next month or so. So this is what I just want to show you, what the package is going to be about, what I can possibly do, what I can help you teach you with as far as the posing goes. Now, the quarter turns, as I said, and I always say this in my class, you want to master these. And they're just so important because this is when the judges get the first look at you. That front relaxed pose, as soon as you come out on stage and you're holding that pose, that is the first look, okay? That's the first impression you're going to be giving all 5 to 7 judges that are going to keep their eyes on you. So you really want to master the quarter turn poses. Now, there are a few tricks, let me not say tricks, but tips that I always remind clients and people who are interested in posing. And first and foremost, you want to practice as often as you can. That's a given, but you want to practice without wearing your shoes, and you want to be on a harder surface. And that's only because you can practice in your sneakers, you can practice on the carpet, but when you step onto that most likely wood stage, it's going to seem foreign to you. So you really want to get the feel for underneath your feet as far as not wearing socks, not wearing shoes, and a harder surface, so you feel more comfortable. You know, the whole idea for practicing is that it becomes real easy when you're on stage. And that's why I'm first going to be teaching you the quarter turns and the basics, so you can practice these and it'll become easy. Another tip is to also practice without the mirror. Okay, you can't see the mirrors in here, but there are mirrors and we use them a lot, you know, to find your space. But you want to not rely on them all the way through your contest prep when it comes to posing. You know, one of my tips to beginners, and I also do this to get reacquainted, is I'll close my eyes, I'll find my spot, and if it feels comfortable, I open and then I reevaluate, or I have someone watching me. So that will also help you, okay? So those are definitely tips that you want to do. Now, you just don't want to practice to get comfortable with the posing. You want to practice also to help condition your body, because conditioning your body, you know, because you don't know how long you're going to be on stage. Let's put it that way. When you're on stage and you just practice the quarter turns, boom, you know, you're just doing it at home and so on and so forth. Well, you want to hold those poses for some time. And it's because you don't know how long you're going to be out there with that class. It can be a really tight class, and they can have you spinning around, doing the mandatories, doing the compulsories for more comparisons. You know, the bigger the class, the more posing you're going to do. So let's hope that happens, and let's hope that you're prepared. So you condition yourself by practicing a lot. And I say, you know, as soon as you have in mind that you're going to be doing a show, you know, 16 to 20 weeks out, that's when you want to start practicing, or at least mastering the poses. And a few weeks before the show, you should have it down. You should be conditioned posing-wise. You should have your routine down. These are just things that you don't want to worry about during the last couple weeks leading up to a show. So those are my little tidbits and tricks and tips, so have you, that you can use going up to your progression for your contest. And again, I'm just going to go over the quarter turns, okay? The basics of the quarter turns, and this should apply to most federations. Not too extensively. I just want you to have a baseline and an idea on how to do them properly as far as footing and posture. And then come down to the future, like I said earlier, I'm going to do the mandatories. Okay, we're going to go over all those, and it's going to be packaged up real nice for you. But this is just, you know, something I want to give out to everyone right now. So let's start with the front relaxed pose. And like I said initially, this is the one that you want to master because this is the pose you're always coming back to. Now, when I teach a class or an individual or practice, it always starts with the feet. No matter what pose you're doing, you're going to start with your feet. So I typically have my heels closer together. They're not necessarily touching, toes pointed out, knees are soft. That's what you want to do with the legs. Now, depending on your physique, you may have your heels a little bit closer together or a little bit bit further out, but you don't want to do anything to exaggerate it. Okay, you want a nice base. Heels close together, toes pointed out, knees are bent. And the reason why the knees are bent is simply to help keep the striations there. Okay, obviously you can't see them on me because I'm fully clothed and it's cold in here, but the point is your knees are soft, just slightly, to have the striations to show. That is the basic bottom line that you want to have for the front relax. Another tidbit that you can do is have your knees pointed out a little bit. That helps bring out the lines. So once you establish your base, you work your body up. Boom. Now this is the front relaxed pose. Basically, you're looking at the width of the shoulders, the lat spread from the rear, hopefully you can see some of it from the front, and the fullness of the chest, fullness of arms. So after you have your legs nice and tight in the right position, boom, you want to hold it right here. I don't want to see any loose fingers. Fingers are closed. As far as elbow and hand position, your hands are slightly inside your elbows. Okay, you'll see that. You don't want to be too far out because that looks ridiculous with too much space. Too far out here, it's just silly. Your lats aren't that big, and you see a lot of times when guys and girls get tired, they go like this. Nice and compact, okay? Hands are just inside your elbows, chest up. Also, you want to lean forward just a tad bit because usually the pits where the judges are at are below you. So you want to get on top of it. Boom, right there. A lot of times abs are pulled in but not flexed. If you flex them, there's only a few guys I see that can pull that off. But if you flex them down, you start to lose the width of the chest. So you're going to get on top of it. And that's the front relaxed pose. A good way of putting it, sometimes I tell people, pretend you're shrugging weight up with the dumbbells. Okay, dumbbell shrug, bring it up and hold. There you go, front relaxed pose. They'll say quarter turn to the right. Here, with the feet, I like them parallel. Some guys and girls like being locked out. That's fine, that helps keep the glute nice and tight. But feet are parallel, you're going to work your way up, you're going to have a slight turn. Okay? I like having the knee slightly bent, sitting on it to help bring out the hamstring. And the other trick with the legs, think about doing a leg curl. If you're doing a leg curl, like bringing your leg back, you're going to keep this hamstring nice and tight. And if they're showing, you want to show it. So let's start from the beginning. Front relaxed pose. You're holding it, quarter turn to the right. I'm keeping the same upper body position. After I fix the legs, I do a slight turn, and boom, right here. You don't want to exaggerate it too much, okay? And look, the judges will tell you to straighten out. You want to still show the width of your shoulders. You can lock the tricep out if you want to, or have it slightly bent. The focus on this pose is obviously the glute, the line, the separation between your hamstring and your quadricep, and also the obliques. They're looking at the leanness here along with the upper chest thickness. So you're right here. Okay, hopefully the camera angle's on. Alright? You don't want to be straight, okay? You want to slightly turn. Alright? Heels are flat, parallel. Alright, so let's just look at it again. Front relaxed pose, up on top of it, quarter turn to the right, judge calls, hit it, boom, straight down. Okay? And that goes for the same for the other side. Now, the rear quarter turn, when you're facing the rear, a couple things you have to keep in mind. They're not going to see your chest, they're not going to see your abs, so if you are trying to stay a little tight up top, don't worry about it, okay? Really here what they're looking for the rear relaxed pose is the width of the back, the tightness of the glutes and the hamstrings, okay? So let's just take it all the way through and I'll talk it through. Front relaxed pose, get on top of it, knees are soft, pushing the kneecaps out. Quarter turn to the right, parallel, slightly bent if you want. Rotate, breathe out. And then there's the rear relax. I like taking a little bit wider stance, and you're going to lean back into it just a tad bit. You're leaning back simply for the fact to show off any striations you have in your low back, and also because, again, the vision is on an angle. It's not directly at you. So you want to lean back, help those judges see the width of your back. Glutes are tight, hamstrings are in tight. And you're leaning back. Hand position is the same as far as front relaxed pose. Hands are just slightly inside of your elbows, not flared out past your elbows, almost underneath your armpits. Okay, so that's the simplicity of the quarter turn. So hopefully this was helpful, and I'm going to go into the mandatories. So hang tight, and one of these days I'm going to have it out. I'll put you on a mailing list. If you're interested in learning more about posing, please reach me at fitfranco@verizon.net. And if you want to learn more about the mandatory poses, as I work on that video, please let me know. I'm going to package it all together along with my contest prep podcast. Okay, so there's about 90 minutes of information there that I'm also going to throw in for you. Any questions? Find me on the web. You guys know I'm there. Okay? Thank you very much.